Good morning, and good having a here in sunny Northwest. Welcome, and good morning to Steve. Hello, Steve.
Good morning. How are you, Steve?
I'm okay. Very busy, and the sun is coming out in Devon, and I hope you're well.
Yeah, I'm very good. I'm actually in Spain at the moment, so I'm enjoying some lovely sunshine.
See, these people—they always go on holiday without me. Never fucking make me. Anyway, um, tell us about yourself, Sue.
Oh, right. Well, what I do is I'm actually a fertility coach. So I'm helping women and their partners. Really, prefer to work with couples to boost their fertility naturally so that they increase their chances of conceiving and also increase their chances of having a healthy baby. Because when we're fit and healthy, then we're more likely to have a healthy baby. And to me, that's something that's really important.
Okay, great. We need people like you to kind of like get their message out there and help people because there's a lot of people at the moment who, especially through the COVID, been having problems and it's an ongoing problem. Do you think?
It is a problem, and it's increasing a problem. I think for a number of reasons, but we have a situation really where like 1 in 7 couples today are struggling to conceive, but also interestingly enough, 25% of those there's actually nothing medically wrong, if you like, which is actually getting in the way of them conceiving. And there are, lots of things that impact on fertility, and I basically help people to really optimize all of those so that they actually, increase the chances of being able to make that dream come true of having a baby.
Okay. And what kind of things do you help them with?
For me, there are sort of really six key things, if you like, that really have an impact. And obviously physical health is a big one. Gut health, included in physical health, but obviously also diet, what you're eating. And unfortunately today, the average diet in the UK is very much full of a lot of processed foods. I think the average diet is, for most people, is like 60% processed foods. And it's really important, in order to be really healthy, to be eating, natural, healthy foods, if you like, cooking from scratch. And I know that's a challenge for a lot of people. So I do work with people on making that simple and easy as well. But mindset's really a big thing as well, because the thoughts that we have and what we tell ourselves every day do have a big effect on our bodies, because our body listens. So learning how to manage the negative mindset is something that's really important. And and sort of having that whole thing of looking after yourself, having self-care, and really loving yourself and wanting to make yourself a priority is important. And then there's also your relationship with your partner. That's really important for that to be in a good place, loving and supportive, because when that's in a good place, you're both happier, and when you're happier, you're also healthier as well, and things are more likely to happen. And lifestyle things as well, stress, all of those things don't really help at all, unfortunately. So how I help people to learn how to get rid of stress. We get to the bottom of what's actually causing those sort of behaviors. And we need to look at the environment as well, because we're surrounded, and I think a lot of people don't realize that in your home you're surrounded a lot of the time with a lot of chemicals, toxins and things like this, and these all have an impact on our body and our ability to conceive as well, because many of these chemicals are endocrine disruptors, and they really get in the way. So I sort of take a sort of holistic approach, if you like, to the whole concept of fertility, very supportive, very compassionate, And it's something that I love to, help couples really step into parenthood being healthy and happy, so that their baby has a great start in life.
Of course. And the trouble is these days is like it's all down to being healthy first, isn't it? When you're having a baby and everything.
Yeah, it's really important because you want to go through pregnancy being healthy, because you don't want to get ill, because that might have a negative impact on your baby. But also when you go into childhood, you want to be healthy and strong, and childbirth. I mean, and and in the early days when you're starting off with a little baby, it can be incredibly challenging, and lack of sleep. So the healthier you are, before you get to that point, then you're going to step into motherhood and be in a better place really for handling some of the challenges and ups and downs that might happen to come along.
Yeah. Let's go to the point about getting pregnant and kind of like starting everything off. The trouble is, it said, I was reading something the other day. It says something about like you get more chances of having sex every 2 to 3 days without using contraception. Is that right?
Sorry, I didn't quite catch what you said, Steve.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm trying to kind of like. I read the other day about and it says something about having sex. It's like if you have sex 2 or 3 times a day, it's more chance of you getting pregnant. Is that right?
Well, I think that the key thing is obviously you need to be making love, having sex, however you want to put it, regularly during the time at which you're ovulating, because that's going to increase the chances of conceiving. But I think the other thing is that it's important to really maintain that a loving relationship, and to enjoy that, because I think so often when couples start to struggle and things aren't happening for them, then that whole area becomes quite difficult, and actually in the long term it isn't really helping, because you're getting stressed, he's getting stressed, and it's about sort of letting go of that and just enjoy that time.
Yeah. Last year alone, 20%, out of, there was a survey taken, 20% out of 100 people, sorry, 20% out of 100 couples went through a divorce because, they were having problems conceiving.
Yeah, it can put a huge strain when things aren't happening and people are really desperate to have a baby. It can put such a huge strain on a relationship, and yes, and I believe that it does happen where couples do end up splitting up, which is an unfortunate situation. And I think that these things do happen, and that's why really. When I work with couples, I'm very much working with them on, helping them to really maintain a strong and healthy, loving relationship as well, so that, I help them, if you like, go through those challenges, and we do that together.
Right. Okay. But sometimes, sometimes men, especially men, they kind of like hide things away sometimes, but they hide things away from their partners, such as like what can I say? They can't produce, or they got poor sperm quality. It could come down to their age. Then it could put a lot of pressure, as you said, on the couple. And the trouble is, then they go to IVF. Is it IVF treatment?
IVF, yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you think about that?
Well, I think there's a number of things. Yes, for some couples, I think the key thing is that actually preparing for conception is important both for men and women. So getting yourself healthy, getting yourself in a good place, getting your lifestyle in the right zone, becoming less stressed and getting rid of some of the stresses of life, if you like, are important, but for both parties, if you like. And I think a lot of the time, and it's changing a lot now, which is great, but I think there are still some instances where men don't think that they need to make the changes, and it's women who are actually, making all the changes in their lifestyle and eating habits and things like that in order to, improve their chances of conceiving. But at the end of the day, this is, it takes two to tango, as they say, and it's something that couples need to do together and be supported together. And, by improving your health and doing a lot of things that you really can increase the quality of sperm. And to me, that is important. And yes, IVF, there are a lot of reasons why people, have to go to IVF, and, there are medical reasons and stuff. But I actually feel that there are a lot of couples who could actually avoid going through all that. And it is quite a stressful experience of, going through the whole process of IVF, but also, there's a lot of financial strain as well when, you sort of the first session doesn't work, and then you're going for a second, and then perhaps you're actually having to pay for it yourself. And the cost can keep increasing, and of course that isn't very helpful either, and causes a lot of stresses for people with all the financial concerns. But I don't think there's enough talked about really, with people, sort of medical professionals, really, simply because a lot of them, their expertise isn't in nutrition. And mindset and all of those sorts of things. That's not that's not part of their role. So they're not, covering those things with people, and getting your health and getting your gut health in a really good place, particularly because the gut is where hormones are produced, but also estrogen, which is obviously really important in the whole fertility thing. That's where it's balanced. So, in order to conceive easily, you do need to have well-balanced estrogen levels in the body. So, really sort of, getting yourself in a good place from a health point of view. And unfortunately, many of us today, we think we're very healthy, but actually when we start to look underneath and look how the systems are all working, we're actually not as healthy as we think we are. And, it is important to actually, make getting yourself in a good place and getting your health in a good place a priority to, increase the chances of success, really.
Yeah. And the trouble is, Sue, we've got a big obesity problem here in the UK and around the world. It's not just the UK, in America alone. America is worse. But what I'm trying to say, here, where, in the UK, it's getting, it's getting really bad. But the trouble is, sometimes when people go for, going for a baby and they're trying for a baby, even obesity, gets in the way.
Sorry, what gets in the way? I missed that.
Well, yeah, obesity,
Oh, yes. Well, weight is.
Yeah.
Weight is a big factor, and of course, unfortunately, the issue that we've got, here in the UK, but obviously in the US as well, is that actually that our diet is a big factor in terms of obesity, and particularly the consumption of a huge amount of processed foods, because they really are having a big damaging effect on our body, but also artificial sweeteners and things like that. They're not good for us either. In actual fact, they can actually increase the chances of increasing weight. I was just reading a study just actually the last couple of days where the research is showing that taking artificial sweeteners actually makes you more hungry. So you actually eat more. So it's not actually helping you to lose weight. It's actually having the opposite effect. But also they're not really good either, because they do have a damaging effect on our gut microbiome, and our gut microbiome is absolutely fundamental to whether we stay healthy or whether we, go to disease. So it's, how we're eating and the changes we need to make in eating. But the thing is with the weight thing, yes, we do need to, but actually for women, actually just reducing weight by about 5% can actually help in the process of actually, trying to conceive. But it's also, I think the thing is that, I like to encourage women and men to, want to step into parenthood as the best version of yourself, so that, when you're healthy and you're strong and you're well, you're going to be able to be the best parent you can be, if you like.
Yeah. With your business then and what you do, explain. So if someone comes to you, explain when someone comes to you and tell us the process, what you do.
Okay. All right. Well, the first thing I do when people come to me really is obviously to find out a lot more about them, what the issues are, what they're going through, because I think that, personal understanding of who somebody is and what they're about is very important, because this is a very, it's a very sensitive and confidential relationship that we enter into. And the first thing really is that I actually do an analysis looking at how people's health is physically, so that we actually can see which systems are working well and which systems aren't. And then take them through a whole personalized approach. More often than not, people's gut health isn't in a very good place. So we'll go through a whole gut microbalancing, new gut microbiome rebalancing process. And, I work with people, giving them personalized nutrition advice so that we really get their health into a very good place. But I also work with them on anything that's challenging them around their mindset. So helping them to learn how to really navigate and, manage that negative voice that so often, tells us a lot of rubbish, but actually is having a bad effect on us, and is actually not helping us to live life, in a happy and good place. And, and when people have got, if they've got issues with relationships, then I'm guiding and coaching them through getting that into a really good place. But also giving them guidance on, how to actually clean up the toxins in their home, if you like, and switch to, natural products for your body and for cleaning the home. So it's, very much taking a whole holistic approach, looking at everything, if you like, to do with life, and, and helping them to really look at life differently, how to really reduce stress in your life, and really, working with couples to help them to get into a really good place, so that they do step into parenthood as really happy couples and healthy couples as well.
Brilliant, really good. And do you have a book?
I have got a book, but it was written quite some time ago, actually. Actually probably 6 years ago now. The book I've actually written is called Love Your Gut. It's called The Practical Guide to Weight Loss from the Inside Out. And one of the things, we were talking about obesity, but actually one of the factors in weight gain is not only toxins, but it's also about having good gut health. And when you get your gut into a really good place, you can actually shift the weight quite easily, as long as obviously you're eating the right sort of foods as well. And when it comes to losing weight, I'm not into diets. I think diets are actually waste of time. because they're just about, you know, starving and struggle and difficult, and you know, we don't need that in our lives.
I know it. I'm obesity. I don't know if you know about me, but I'm an obesity campaigner. I've been on radio, TV, and yeah, please believe me, it's, you know, diets don't work.
No, they don't. They don't. And, you know, it's about eating in the right way. It is about getting the gut into a really good place, first of all, and then actually eating the right foods, if you like, healthy foods, nutritious foods that are really there to actually support and help our body to do, you know, the job it likes to do. And fortunately, our body always likes to do the best for us. But sometimes we don't really help it to be able to do that. And it's about eating the right foods and not about, you know, dramatic weight loss, but doing it slowly over time in a healthy, sustainable way.
Brilliant, very good. Thank you, Sue. And if people want to contact you, Sue, how do they contact you?
Well, they can go to my website, which is Sue-Ritchie, and that's ritchie.com, or they can connect with me on Facebook or LinkedIn.
There you go. There you go.
And I do actually have a private Facebook group, which is called Naturally. I can't say it now. Natural Boosting Fertility Boosting Secrets.
Right, okay, guys, I'll put that all on our website in a bit, and so thank you very much, and it's been really, really good. You know, it's good to have an insight of what's going on when a couple, you know, is trying for a baby, and it's really good. And thank you so much, and hopefully we'll get you back sometime and we can talk to you more.
No, that's lovely. Thank you very much, Steve. I've really appreciated it. It's been great to be here today.
Thank you so much, Steve. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.